205 fans on hand for tonight's game from Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hello, everyone. I'm Chuck Marble. Tonight, the Hoosiers versus the Wolverines. Labs is quite a battle. Big Ten Conference play. There's a battle for second place. What a race we have.
It really has been. Surprisingly, Purdue still on top with Michigan in second place, and they need a victory. They need a lot of victories, especially when over Purdue, to try to knock Purdue out of the top.
This game tonight, Indiana with a 69-67 victory down in Assembly Hall earlier, means an awful lot to the Hoosiers. It would be nice to take a win back.
That was quite a game because Michigan dominated the first half, primarily by Robinson being able to drive the middle. Indiana not been able to contest against him, and they built that big lead. But in the second half, Indiana stopped Robinson. Chris Reynolds came in, kept him out of the middle, and Indiana was able to pull the victory out. A lot of changes have happened at Michigan since then, though. Sean Higgins is hurt now. He's got a left foot. He'll be out for about a month. So that moves Demetrius Calip in the lineup, and he's a point guard. So that moves Robinson now to the shooting guard and may not give him a chance to drive as much as he did.
All right, what's Indiana going to have to do tonight, Lance?
Still control Robinson. He can be dangerous from that off guard. Rebounding will be the real key for Michigan. They're very dominant at the rebounding position, very strong inside, and Indiana's had a slump in that recently. We've got to watch the rebounding today.
Let's take a look now at the standings. Big Ten play as of right now. There are games tonight as well as this one here in Ann Arbor. Purdue's on top. They're all alone, 9-1. Then Michigan, Minnesota, and Michigan State, all with 6-3 records. Illinois is fifth at 6-4. Here's the second five. Indiana with a 4-5 tied with Ohio State. Then Iowa 3-6. Wisconsin 2-8. And Northwestern 1-9. We have several games tonight, and we'll have a chance to talk about those a little bit later on. Emotions up here, Laz. What does it mean to play in Chrysler?
Well, it's very important for Michigan, I feel. They really feel that they had that game won at Indiana. Indiana played a strong second half and won the game. So Michigan's got a lot of revenge factor in today's game.
And we'll be back with tonight's starting lineups in just a minute.
I said, put on some steaks and get the Queen a Bud Light.
Bud Light's clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Henry, they're Pop-Tops.
Everything else, is just a light.
Who comes to mind when you think of a strong, innovative bank serving over 5 million customers here and across the country?
Every night across Indiana, Bedroom One families snuggle into their water beds for another warm, cozy sleep. And who puts the warmth in a Bedroom One waterbed? Waterbed heaters from Sunbeam, a name you know means quality. Sunbeam heaters let you control the warmth of your waterbed just the way you like it. Sleep warm tonight, and every night you can on a new waterbed from Bedroom One, heated by Sunbeam.
5 seconds left on the clock.
Time out! The Hoosiers are on! Go Hoosiers!
Today's game is brought to you by your local Chevy dealer. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
Indiana holds a 73-42 edge over Michigan, and they have won 5 of the last 7 contests here. Indiana's record with Bob Knight at the helm, 24-13, and 8-9 versus Michigan here in Chrysler Arena. So a win tonight would put Knight even at 9, and there were some great years we'll talk about, some years you remember, Laz. But once again, emotion plays a very important part. We have talked in the past about taking the Michigan fan out of the game early. Is that something that Bob would like to see?
Well, I think that was one of the advantages at the game in Bloomington. Even though Indiana was down 14 at the half, they were able to come back. Indiana's won the last 3 contests. Don't forget they won both games last year against the national champions, one by a point, the other by 2 points, and then, of course, the game this year in Bloomington by 2 points. So Indiana's had good success against Michigan in the last 2 years.
All right, we're set to go. Let's go to the public address announcer for the starting lineup.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Michigan's Chrysler Arena for tonight's game between Indiana and Michigan. Now, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First of all, for the Hoosiers, starting at forward, the 6'9" sophomore from Chicago, number 32, Eric Anderson. Michigan's forward, 6'7" senior from Rosemont, Illinois, number 20, Mike Griffin. Forward for Indiana, 6'6" freshman from Evansville, number 40, Calbert Cheney. Michigan's forward, 6'9" senior from Grand Rapids, number 35, Loy Vaught. The center for Indiana is a 6'9" freshman from Bloomington, number 54, Chris Lawson. Michigan center, 6'10" senior from Romulus, number 52, Terry Mills. The guards for Indiana, 6'2" junior from Marion, number 4, Lyndon Jones. Michigan guard, 6'1" junior from Flint, number 13, Demetrius Caleb. The other guard for Indiana is a 6'3" freshman from Indianapolis, number 20, Greg Graham. Michigan's guard, 6'2" senior from Cambridge, Mass., number 21, Rumeal Robinson. The head coach at Indiana is Bob Knight. Michigan's coach is Steve Fisher.
Okay, we're just about set to get things underway. As you look at Steve Fisher in his first year here, he is 16-4 this year, 22-4 overall, and 6-3 in Big Ten play. Your officials for tonight's game, Jim Bain, Tom Rucker, and Phil Bova. Laz, in addition to what we talked about in our stand-up, what else does Indiana have to do tonight to keep Michigan from running away with this game?
One of the things they need to do is come out strong on offense. Indiana has not had the offensive output in the Big Ten games as they had in the preseason. They were up around 80 points a game in preseason, and in the Big Ten, that's hurt. One of the stats on that has been the field goal percentage. That's been down for Indiana compared to the first 10 games when they jumped out to a 10-0 record. The addition of Lawson in the lineup to take the center spot really helps Eric Anderson. That moves him over to a forward, which is really his natural position, and also helps Calbert Cheney. It relieves some of the rebounding pressure on Cheney, especially against a team as big as Michigan. Vaught and Mills are really great rebounders, and with Higgins out of the lineup, it hurts them a little bit, but they're still strong in there. Indiana leads the series, and Indiana won the last meeting exactly a month ago on January 8th, 69-67.
All right, Mills and Anderson, and the tip is controlled by Indiana. Let's watch to see how the Hoosiers employ their first offensive attack.
Michigan's going to play man-to-man, and Indiana's had trouble lately with that shooting percentage. They've got to be patient, move the ball around, and by doing that, they do control the tempo of the game.
Anderson gets Vaught off his feet, and Vaught gets the block on the shot. That is the 18th block shot in Big Ten play for Loy Vaught.
He leads the conference in that stat, and you can see why there. Anderson couldn't get that shot away.
They're asking for Griffin to shoot, and Tom Rucker watches Griffin as he picks up his pivot foot. First turnover. As you look at the Indiana bench, Bob Knight.
Griffin only averages 3.5 points a game. It looks like Indiana's going to leave him outside with the ball, and they want him to take that shot.
pass to the man cutting through. That was Calbert Cheney, as Anderson saw him briefly, but it was deflected out of bounds, and the Hoosiers will toss it in. It comes to Anderson and back to Jones.
It's like Indiana's really concentrating on spreading that offense out to avoid double teams. That gave Anderson a shot there, but he missed.
Up quickly, the Wolverines. Mills, and then back to Vaught and over to Griffin. Robinson from just behind the line. It won't fall. And the Hoosiers can't get the board. Fed inside on a great pass. And the first two to Lloyd Ball.
There's the power of the rebounding as Robinson misses the shot, but Michigan comes up with a rebound, which often leads to a basket, as it did there.
Anderson from the side, and we're tied at 2. Talking about rebounding, Indiana in Big Ten play is averaging 30.1, Michigan 35.1. Not really as high for the Wolverines as one might expect. Down on the corner, that's Caleb. It won't fall. Anderson clears. He had 12 rebounds in the last meeting of these two teams.
Indiana's been good at forcing the outside shot here early, and they want to try to continue that throughout the game. Their one basket, of course, came on the rebound. Cheney
from outside, short. And out to Robinson. Works up against Indiana's Cheney and scores.
Michigan really likes to run, and usually you'll see Robinson bring it up. He beat Michigan State with a buzzer shot under those same situations. And with Calip in there, Robinson can play the point or the shooting guard.
Soft hook by Chris Lawson. They've been working all week trying to post him and getting to take the shot. That time it's the hook.
He's really come along in the last 2 or 3 games. He's getting a lot more time, and he plays very much under control. He knows he's in there to rebound, hit the open shot when he can, and that nice little baby hook shot there got him 2 points.
Griffin comes over, back to Caleb, and they work it around. Robinson, they go right inside to Mills. There's the feed to Griffin, misses the shot, and Indiana loses it. Anderson had the block out and lost it off his leg.
Very important to come up with those rebounds as Griffin missed that layup, but Indiana not able to control the ball. Now that gives Michigan another shot. Watch it now. 2 tips there, and Anderson not able to come up with it, and really almost like an offensive rebound because it gives Michigan another possession.
The Wolverines work it around, back to Vaught. Mills will fire, no. And Vaught gets the board, goes right back up, scores, and he's fouled. 35-25.
Indiana can't really do much better at forcing the outside shot. Let's watch the block out. And there was good position inside. The rebound just came out long. Vaught took it right back to the basket.
6-4. Michigan with the lead and a chance to stretch that lead to 3. Boy, Vaught is just so strong. He led the Big Ten and was second in the nation last year in field goal percentage. And he gets the roll for his 5th point.
There's a little full court press now by Michigan. A 1-2-2 zone.
And up to Anderson across the line. So the Hoosiers break that press, and now let's see how they work into the offense.
Michigan goes right back to man-to-man. Indiana spreading the floor very well now.
Jones back to Cheney. Indiana's playing high up off the line, Laz.
See how high Lawson comes out to release. Anderson trying to post up inside. Vaught blocked that first shot.
Jones gets it to drop. Lyndon Jones.
See, if Indiana will continue to keep that offense spread, that'll leave the lane open for Jones inside. And just as Robinson likes to do that for Michigan, Lyndon Jones very good at driving inside, stopping for that 10-foot shot.
We're at 7-6. Griffin fires from outside. They want him to throw it up. He's a good shooter. Averaging only 2.8 points per game. They say that he just needs to take more shots. We're 9-6. Michigan with the 3-point lead. And in the early going, we have played just about 4.5 minutes. Hooked by Cheney, no good, and boy, the Wolverines control the board.
They really do. It's tough to get an offensive rebound for the same reason they do such a good job on their boards. They love to rebound.
Down in deep, and look how he works out. Terry Mills, who is so strong and so agile, just worked right through Lawson. Up off the glass for 2 more. Jones to the line. He gets that one to roll.
Yeah, there's a drive on the baseline that time, and Linden went with the left hand there, still able to pop that 6-footer and gets it to go.
Well, now, so far, Laz, we're seeing a little bit different type game than we saw down at Indiana. By this time, with 4.5 minutes, here's a save as Caleb puts it up and scores. By this time, Michigan had really started a run.
They'd already had control of the game. Indiana's staying there right now, but the tempo of the game is still a little quicker than what Indiana would want, and the offensive rebounding has been the biggest thing that's hurt Indiana early.
Jones down to Anderson, tries to work. Good defense by Michigan. That baseline just disappeared. Good screen by Lawson, but Chaney wouldn't take it. Now Lawson takes the shot, and he'll go to the line on the foul, and that's the first. And I think they flagged that on Robinson. First against Michigan.
See, Steve Fisher took Michigan to 6-0 last year in the NCAA tournament for the national championship. Lawson made a good play there. Staying under control, takes one quick dribble, avoids the charge, goes straight up and gets fouled. That ball just comes a little short. But Lawson really showing a great effort in the last 3 games and earned himself a starting spot.
What's the hardest thing for a freshman really to have to do, Laz?
Really convince himself that he's of the caliber to play in the Big Ten. Lawson's done a good job early.
All right, it's 14:30 before halftime. We have a timeout on the floor. Indiana trailing 13-10. We'll be back after these messages.
As much a part of Indiana as looking for a unique antique. Riding Blue River on a summer afternoon. Strawberry shortcake in June. They're as much a part of Indiana as Farm Bureau Insurance and you.
It's PSI's new Comfort Guarantee. I've never seen anything like it. Comfort Guarantee.
Well, it's right here. PSI will guarantee your total satisfaction from a properly installed high-efficiency heat pump system for a year.
But after a year.
If you're not satisfied with your operating cost or your comfort level, PSI will replace it, even with gas.
But the Comfort Guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Tell that to the gas company.
Comfort from your high-efficiency electric heating system. Guaranteed from PSI.
I send you for a Bud Light, and you bring back...
Well, Bud Light won't fill you up, never lets you down.
So, there are no men here, there's an unlimited supply of Bud Light, and we can never leave.
Correct.
Everything else is just a light.
We can live with that.
Yeah.
This broadcast is presented by authority of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this broadcast without the express prior written consent of the Big Ten Conference is prohibited. Happy birthdays to Pearl Anderson, who will be 92 tomorrow. 92 tomorrow. Also a happy birthday tonight to Mark Wildman and also to Gene Heilman of Peru.
Michigan shooting well. Look at the rebounding. 6-1 over Indiana.
Caleb takes it right side. Michigan with a 3-point lead, 13-10. This is Mills. Caleb with Graham working on him, and back to Robinson. Lyndon Jones faces up to Robinson as Griffin fires from the line. And Anderson with good block out underneath.
Jones played good defense there, stayed right up on Robinson, didn't let him drive in the middle. I think Indiana wants to see Griffin take that shot from the outside.
Down to the line, a whistle stops the action. We have a foul against Michigan as Chaney makes the baseline drive.
Let's watch. Lawson pins off there so that Michigan can't help. And then Chaney floats right in. He can get around Griffin with that left hand. He chose to go to the baseline that time.
Drops it back. Anderson thought he might have a move. It just appeared like he really wanted to hook that ball right down through the middle. But no place to go. Good defense by Michigan. Good rebounding by the Wolverines. Here comes Caleb. Boy, he's got a good stop and go. He can really turn it on.
He's very quick. The thing that Michigan loses is rebounding from Higgins, but they gain quickness from Callip in there.
Robinson outside, a whistle, and that's going to go against Griffin. He's picked up 2 quick ones in less than a minute.
Foul on number 20, Mike Griffin.
Now we're going to see a substitution, the first of the game. This is going to be Chris Cedar. Chris is a big boy. He's a junior, 6'9", from Brookfield, Wisconsin. He's averaging only 2.3 points per game. But Griffin will sit down, and Cedar is in. Lawson. Michigan still staying in that man, Laz.
I think you'll see that most of the way, although Indiana's worked well offensively against it.
Anderson can't get it to fall, and the rebound has 3 white shirts underneath there to protect the basket. And the Wolverines are up very quickly. Good defense by Indiana on the foul as Mills takes it to the hoop.
You can just see Indiana getting in trouble when they let that ball come low. Watch, a long lead pass. Indiana not back down the floor quickly enough, and it gives Mill the ball 2 feet from the basket. Nothing really Lawson and Anderson could do to stop that, and you see the look on Coach Knight's face. If Indiana can force Michigan to take that outside shot, they're going to be in good shape. When that ball gets into that yellow area, Michigan's going to dominate the game.
You know, it almost appears that when Mills is underneath the basket and he was on the left side, he has no place to go. But he's got such a long stride at 6'10", very long legs. Substitution, here's Riley, Eric Riley, a 6'11" sophomore from Cleveland, and he's going to replace Vaught. Michigan in this man press now. They're really putting it on as Indiana doesn't have the ball. Now they get the ball and comes right in, and immediately Michigan releases the pressure.
Riley gives Michigan good height at 6'11", just a freshman, but they get good size when he comes in the game.
Anderson's up, and that's goaltending. That's against Terry Mills.
Looked like that ball was going to come up short, but the goaltending call was made. Let's watch now. The left of your screen, Anderson's going to take the shot. Mills backs away. And
hard
you can't
to tell.
It's hard to tell if the ball would have fallen short, and that's a good call of goaltending because the ball was on its downward flight toward the cylinder. Steve Fisher did not agree with the call.
I remember there was a call like that against Indiana at Iowa when Roberson for Indiana pulled down a shot just before halftime, and it made an all-the-world difference in that game as Iowa went on to beat Indiana. Here's the steal. Caleb will solo to the hoop and slam.
There you see the quickness that Caleb adds to the team. Indiana was hurt badly with steals in the first half in Bloomington, and that's how it can really get the crowd going in Michigan now with a 5-point lead.
17-12. Under to Lawson for 2. He's under good control as he put it off the glass.
Great lead pass there as Lawson had inside position, and a high, soft lob pass brings Indiana back to 3.
And Indiana back defensively. Here's Cedar. And dropped inside. Indiana scrambling for the ball. Out of bounds to Indiana. Phil Boba makes that call. And that certainly doesn't draw any friendly reaction from the fans here at Chrysler. We have a timeout, 11:38 remaining. It's Michigan 17-14. Back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
Have we got something for you?
Master C on the floor, MasterCard to your door. Take me down my favorite aisle, take me out tonight in style. Get the best, it's not too hard, with your Pacers MasterCard.
Apply for your Pacers MasterCard, a preferred interest rate, and special Pacers promotions just for cardholders.
Yeah, get the best, it's not too hard, with your Pacers MasterCard.
What did I tell you?
In Central Indiana, Chevy trucks are turning a lot of heads away from Ford because more buyers see what Ford's missing that Chevy has. Like the full-size Chevy's more powerful standard engine, heavier frame, bigger standard payload, and $750 cash back. Chevy S10 with a bigger payload and longer, wider box than Rangers, plus $1,000 cash back. Come in now and get an Indiana or Purdue University tote bag or hat at your local Chevy dealer. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
This
Fantasies brought to you by Unical. Since 1951, we fueled more NASCAR winners than all other brands combined. And we put that same winning spirit into gasolines for your car.
And that was a fine piece of driving.
Oh, but nothing.
What's that, Murph?
Nothing, nothing, Ed. There's nothing.
Over on the Indiana bench, Steve Downing, an associate athletic director, is here representing Ralph Floyd tonight, who is still recovering from surgery in an Indianapolis hospital. Ralph, we know if you're watching tonight, you're pulling for an IU victory. Right now, it's 17-14, Michigan by 3. And Indiana will have the ball. And there's that pressure. In it comes to Cheney. Good move, and quickly up across the line is Jones. What might have been the strategies in that timeout, Laz?
Well, Indiana's done a nice job of holding on to the ball. No turnovers yet. But they've got to keep the ball out of that yellow area. Michigan scored all their points from the inside. They've got to force that ball on the outside. They've got to do a better job rebounding.
Graham from the corner for just 2.
For 20th, Greg Graham.
Tom Ruckers says he was on the line.
Indiana's playing with good intensity. They're staying close, and even though they're getting rebounded, still trail by 1 point. Good start for this ball game.
Rumeal Robinson. Boy, what a thriller he put on against Seton Hall last year in the championship game. Hit those 2 free throws. Here's Riley from just in front of the line, gets the bounce of the ball.
Eric Riley.
He'll be a good player, 6'11". He's got good mobility. He's getting a lot of chance to play now that Higgins is out. See him hit the jump shot from the outside.
Jones starts the drive, and it's not going to fall. Riley with the big board. They list him at 6'11", and he's every inch of that. He towers over everybody else. Robinson blocked. Gets it right back, goes up, scores, and he's fouled. Boy, that's extra effort.
Robinson made a cut from the weak side to get open. And again, it's too late to start to play defense. Even though Cheney makes a nice block, Robinson's right there to get the rebound. He's surrounded by 4 Hoosiers, but the defense let down there, and that's what caused the basket. See Tolbert in the lineup for Michigan, 6'4", 180 out of Detroit, Tony Tolbert. And also Michael Talley, number 14, 6'1". So Michigan really going to the bench a lot here in the first half, although you'll see Robinson, Vaught, Mills in there most of the game.
Pat Graham replaces Calbert Cheney for Indiana. Robinson looks for a 3-point play and gets it. Lyndon Jones, it's nice to see him back taking charge. Leadership at that guard position is very important, isn't it, Laz?
I think it's very important, and Lyndon's the guy who can do it, although he makes a bad pass right there.
This is Talley.
No reason to make that pass by Lyndon because Indiana's offense had been taking its time and doing well.
Now Michigan begins to light it up. That's Buck, the 6'9" senior from Grand Rapids at the 9:50 mark, 24-16, an 8-point advantage in Michigan's largest.
Now this is where you want to keep Michigan on the defense for a long time.
Lawson misses. Anderson misses the follow. Boy, a couple of easy ones inside that the Hoosiers can't get the ball. Robinson, and he dumps it for 2. And what we had not seen at the start of the game begins to open up now, lad.
Right since that timeout, Michigan has used that fast break and some good defense to get a 10-point lead.
Pat Graham, he's a good outside shooter. Anderson, he's fouled as he goes inside, and that'll be against Robinson. That's 2 on Robinson. So Michigan has 4 personal fouls, 2 on Griffin, now 2 on Rumeal Robinson. You look at the general, he's so often called, and then Jones is out. Replacing him is Chris Reynolds, the 6'1" freshman from Peoria Central, who did such an excellent job on Robinson in the second half down in Bloomington.
Well, Reynolds came in the ball game and really kept Robinson out of that middle with good quickness and moving his feet well. So he'll probably be on Robinson, although they've taken Robinson out with that second foul.
Lawson to Graham. Now the tempo for Indiana's picked up a little bit, Laz. And here's the lead to Caleb, and he scores, on the break. The outlet was there. Nobody picked him up. And Indiana calls timeout. We have 8.5 minutes left in the first half. Back right after this word from Anheuser-Busch.
So, did you break him, Raj? Break him? I own him. That horse and I are one. We achieved a special kind of oneness. Man and beast. Speaking the same language.
What's that mean? Means they'll be talking again tomorrow.
The University of Missouri had a communication problem. How to bring together 4 different campuses and hundreds of different departments. So GTE recommended their Centranet system, which not only gave the university greater capabilities, but allowed 75,000 people to communicate a lot better. You see, at GTE, it's not just communications we offer, it's solutions. Call us, and everything will fall into place.
Amex Coal Industries proudly presents the high-energy play of the game, the outstanding individual play from IU's last televised game.
In the second half of the Indiana-Wisconsin game, the Hoosiers are in the half-court offense against the Badgers. Lyndon Jones penetrates and makes a nice pass to Chris Lawson, but Lawson misses the open jumper. Eric Anderson is there for the rebound and draws the foul as he hits the layup.
The high-energy play of the game from Amex Coal Industries.
As part of the high-energy play of the game, Amex is making a contribution to the Indiana University Library Fund. Well, as we talked at the outset of the show about playing with patience, Indiana still apparently is looking for the good shot.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by...
appears to have been picked up just a little bit.
Right, the tempo, a fast tempo really favors Michigan. And when they can take a turnover or a rebound down the floor quickly, that's when they become most dangerous. And that's what has enabled them to take this run now since that last timeout. They now hold a 12-point lead. Indiana's got to work the ball more. We talked about forcing Michigan to play defense a lot longer unless that layup comes. And there's the rebounding, 12-4. Michigan leading on the boards. No way Indiana can stay with them if that continues.
Indy Anderson, low pass and a foul reaching in. And that could very well be on Demetrius Caleb. Let's wait to see. Jim Bain makes the call. It is Caleb's first. And team foul number 5 against the Wolverines.
This is where Indiana's got to play smart. Still 8:23 left in the half. And the tempo of the game has gotten away from them a little. They've got to come back, play like they did in that second half in Bloomington, slow things down, take the good shots when they can, and fight for those rebounds at both ends.
Jamal Meeks, at that last timeout, throws it away. It's last touch Michigan. I think he was intending that ball inside for Lawson, but Lawson was screened from me. I couldn't see him.
You really got to be careful when you decide to pass to a guy. Not only does he have to be open, but he's got to be able to do something with it once he gets the ball. If you force a pass on the baseline and the guy's under the basket, he's not going to be able to make a good move, and he's going to have to dish it back out. So Indiana's got to be careful when they make those passes.
Off to Anderson. That pass pulled him a little bit out of shooting position, so he can't shoot. Now he'll fire from top of the key. And that shows when he is in shooting position what he can do.
A smart play. He knew he didn't have it, although he was closer to the basket. He knew he didn't have a good shot. He gave it up and then went to an open area where he did have the shot. The ball comes right back to him. He's able to hit it.
This is Tolbert, number 4, Tony Tolbert, a freshman from Detroit, 6'4", played at St. Martin. Caleb now to Tolbert. He'll fire 3. That's not going to fall. And Anderson with good block out that time on Mills.
Now there's the difference there. You see 2 quick passes. Indiana forces the outside shot and then is able to get the rebound without Michigan getting another chance at the basket.
Lloyd Vaught, who thought he had the block, instead has his first foul.
That leads to an Indiana fast break, and Graham takes it quickly. Now, Indiana didn't take a lot of time on offense there, but they did have a layup. Steve Fisher doesn't agree with the call, but Graham's at the line.
The 16th foul for the Wolverines. Next one will put Indiana at the line in the bonus. But right now, Graham is shooting 2. And that's probably been one of the downfalls of this Indiana team this year. They're only shooting 72% on the season from the line, Les. Indiana teams have been about 4 percentage points better than that. 1 for 2 for Pat Graham. Another substitution. Cheney in as Graham sits down for Indiana.
Right, Graham out.
Coach still looking for combinations.
Right, but he's got to keep a big lineup in there. Lawson and Anderson have not been out of the game yet because of their rebounding strength inside. He's looking for quickness on defense to keep Caleb from penetrating. That time he did a little bit. You can see the trouble he causes when he's able to do that.
Well, Pat Graham got some contact, and Caleb will now go to the line to shoot as Indiana has picked up
First personal, that's
its fourth team foul. No one in any foul trouble at all, though, for Indiana.
Indiana's done a nice job of staying out of foul trouble. Not over the limit yet, but Caleb at the line because of a shooting foul.
Caleb is a 70% shooter from the stripe. Hits his first. He started his first Big Ten game against Wisconsin the other night. That was a win by Michigan. And the second will not fall as Lawson clears for the Hoosiers. We have 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half. There's the score. Fans want a double dribble. No call. Under to Lawson. Out of bounds to the Hoosiers. Now, Lawson just couldn't get off Mills. They were pushing and shoving, and when he went down for that high lob pass, just couldn't get his weight back under it to chase the ball down.
That's not always a good pass to make. It takes a long time to come down. The defense was able to come from the weak side to knock it away.
And Graham on a good feed. A good look by Chris Lawson.
That time the high lob pass worked, but you saw how much quicker it was across the court. Graham wide open. A good pass by Lawson.
Indiana whittles that lead to 29-21, an 8-point margin. Back to Robinson, back in that lineup. Inside, boy, they punched that ball in quickly. And a nice effort by Meeks, but it'll be Michigan's ball. Mike Griffin is back in. And Talley will sit down.
Now there's a case where the ball did go inside, but as the guard stopped back in to help, Indiana was able to knock it away.
All the way out to Vaught. Michigan has such a talent advantage. They not only have the height, but Vaught and Mills and all the others, even with that height, can play out as well as inside. Look at Mills go back up for it.
He just used great quickness there as he faked to the left and got around on the baseline, missed that shot, but still came up with his own rebound.
31-21. Inside to Lawson. Yes, that's a good move.
And Chris does a nice job. He keeps moving around. He's looking to pick primarily for Anderson and Cheney, but then when it's his turn to come back around, he looks to score when he gets the ball. He wedged right through two players there and makes a good shot.
Last Indiana basketball, Chris Lawson.
Michigan with the lead. Robinson tries to penetrate. And we have a foul, a blocking foul. He does split the Indiana defense and draw the foul on Cheney. That's number 2 on Calvert.
Here's a shot from underneath. Cheney comes to help out as Robinson makes that cut across. He's very quick and hard to stay with when he moves across the floor like that. Indiana not over the limit yet.
That's only Indiana's 5th foul. Griffin high, Robinson, he will put it up. That's off the rim, and look at him underneath to scramble for the ball, travel against Indiana. Tom Rucker makes a good call. Anderson went up the ball, but as he rolled back, lifted his feet, and moved his position on the floor.
It's so tough to come away with a rebound. Again, Indiana forces the outside shot. Look at all those hands. Vaught included right there. Anderson falls down, and the travel goes over to Michigan, but right away, Indiana gets it back on the Michigan turnover.
Well, we've talked about the turnovers for Indiana, and it's been a fairly decent game for the Hoosiers.
All right, here's a zone by Michigan. Griffin barks out. Looks like a 1-2-2. First time Indiana has seen that today. Look for Graham to get that shot outside. 33, right at the bottom of your screen.
And he'll take it, but doesn't get it to fall. And look at Anderson hustle for the ball. Inside, Calvert Cheney for 2.
Calvert missed that shot, came right back after Anderson came up with it, and makes a nice drive in. Now Indiana only down by 6. So from that timeout, when they got down 12, Indiana's really made a good run, and now a foul against Michigan.
And that's over the limit. That's the 7th foul, the first against Terry Mills, the senior from Romulus, Michigan. Let's look. Maybe we can pick it up.
Here's the action. Right there, a shove by Mills as Jamal Meeks tried to get around a pick. Mills shoved him back, and it'll be out of bounds. Michigan's over the limit. It'll be Jamal Meeks at the line for a 1-and-1.
Jamal Meeks at the line. He has 1-and-1.
The first trip to the line by either team in the bonus situation. Good look at this youngster, the sophomore. And it's not going to fall. Cheney hustles for the board.
You can see how important those offensive rebounds are. It's twice in a row now. Indiana's gotten a second chance.
Oh, what a shot by Eric Anderson.
And twice in a row they've scored. Michigan did the same thing against Iowa. They had a 16-point lead in the second half against Iowa and lost that game. They have not been able to protect leads that they've gotten in ball games.
Tripled on the baseline, fires all the way across as Caleb brings it out. Michigan can really recognize floor position. Robinson for three. No! And Anderson there for Indiana.
Great run here by Indiana. They're right back in the ball game. They're forcing Michigan to take those outside shots. They're moving patiently on offense and wait until they get a good shot, particularly inside.
Anderson, boy, he wants to go. Down to Lawson. Yes, it goes. Chris Lawson, his best game in the Big Ten. He's averaging only 3. He has 10.
That's a great pass, a bounce pass that moves quickly in there. The defense can't get it. And again, Lawson's not doing anything fancy. He knew he was open to his right shoulder. He just turned and got a good roll at the hoop. Indiana now down 2 points after being down 12 in this first half.
And we're ticking down to the 3-minute mark. Cedar. Vaught will fire. No, it's not going to go. Out of bounds. Indiana. Well, it's an exciting first half. 3:12 remaining. 31-29. Michigan with the lead. Back after these messages. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
You know, shortness of breath, chest pain. Well, my regular doctor sent me to the Indiana Heart Institute. I've never felt more cared for. My family doctor, my cardiologist, the surgeon, my heart team.
It was chest pain, but I was embarrassed to go to the Heart Institute. I did, though. It wasn't a heart attack, but the doctor said it was a warning.
Christmas Day, I called Dad's doctor about the symptoms, and he met us at St. Vincent. Great people. They also cared about us.
Thanks, Doc.
Sometimes the best gift you can give costs so little, but means so much. The sound of your voice.
Hello?
Happy birthday to you.
I can't come to the phone right now, so please leave a message at the tone.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear. Boy, you ever hardly get hold of Shelley. Happy birthday to
Bill, I
you.
just walked in.
Happy birthday to you.
It is the thought that counts. Not so long distance. From Indiana Bell.
With today's technically advanced automobiles, you don't want to leave your car with just anyone.
You have done this before.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, my guess is it's that little baby right there. You don't need it anyway, you know. I ain't got one in my truck.
Today, you need the service experts at your local Chevy dealer with a customer satisfaction rating that's one of the highest. They use the most sophisticated equipment available to service your car and keep it running right. In Central Indiana, visit your local Chevy dealer because you don't want just anyone working on your car.
3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in this first half of play. Indiana dropping down to a 10-point deficit, and they've worked themselves back to a 31-29 game.
Well, they trailed 28-16 when Coach Knight took that last time out, and now Indiana's gone a 13-3 run to bring the score to 31-29. There's the field goal percentage. Indiana shooting a lot better today than they have in previous Big Ten games, although Michigan not bad at all either at 50%.
Well, the officials started that game on the second buzzer. Michigan hadn't broken from the bench yet, so Indiana gets the ball up court without any pressure. Greg Graham. And back to Jamal Meeks. Indiana going with Greg Graham and Pat Graham. Chris Lawson, Eric Anderson, and Jamal Meeks. Greg Graham. And he's down where he doesn't want to pick that ball up. Look at that great feed. Lawson has 2 assists. This one goes to Greg Graham, and we're tied at 31.
Well, again, Lawson knew he didn't have the shot. He took a couple dribbles to try to get himself in better position. Keeps his head up and finds Graham all alone. Michigan makes a defensive error, and Indiana takes advantage of it.
Robinson, Riley is back in the lineup. Caleb Robinson, whistle, stops it. And this is a foul going against Michigan. That's going to be on number 4, Tony Tolbert.
Michigan's trying to set some picks inside to get their players open, but they're not keeping their arms close to their body. They're extending their hands out. That's twice now. We saw Mills on a replay, and right there Tolbert with the motion from the referee that he pushed his hands out. Both those fouls gave Jamal Meeks a chance at the free throw line.
Meeks missed his only other opportunity at the line. He misses this one. Down goes Anderson as Robinson clears the board. Griffin, they work it around. 2:10 remaining. Robinson from 3. And high in the air goes Mills, but out comes Indiana. It's 2-on-2. Graham holds it up. Oh, he had 3, but Pat will not take it. Greg will. And it's not going to go. Riley. And now Caleb walks it across as we're inside the 2-minute mark. Now this crowd, which has been very complacent watching Indiana come back, now tries to rally these Wolverines. Tied at 31. Griffin. No shot. Robinson. They clear out, but look at Meeks with good position on him. Robinson can't drive. Riley. Shot clock was down to 6 as Lawson pulls off the errant shot by Caleb.
Great defense right there as Indiana made Michigan run time off the clock. They didn't allow any defensive mistakes. They get the rebound now at the other end. They're taking their time on offense, looking for a good shot.
Indiana can run off about another 20 seconds. Feed inside, and it was led just a little bit too much. Greg Graham comes over to Bill Boba protesting he was held.
There's a case where Graham was moving away from the basket that time, yet the pass was thrown toward the basket in a lead situation. So either Graham had to hold that ball until Greg Graham was going to the basket, or make that a high lob pass that Graham could have run under. Either way, it's a turnover for Indiana.
All right, now you see the clock broken down in tenths of seconds. Out of bounds to Indiana, Jim Bain. And he makes the call right in front of the Indiana bench, and this crowd, the Wolverines, really didn't care for that one too much.
Well, that'll give Indiana the last shot of the first half. And again, they're still on that 15-3 run right now. Michigan has been stuck on 31 for a long time.
Graham tries to work past Griffin. Now Indiana playing out, and they are. They're going to go for that last shot.
You know, that zone defense that Michigan ran a couple times is not going to work. They're back in that man-to-man, especially now the clock running down.
And once again, Les, I see the offense very high.
Pretty much to run the time down. Now you see him get ready to go.
7 seconds. Inside! And back up off the glass. Reverse layup by Chris Lawson. 1 second remaining. We've come to the end of the first half. And boy, what a first half it was. That would not have counted as the buzzer sounded before the shot. Chrysler Arena is stunned. That's the end of the first half. The score, Indiana 33, Michigan 31.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by your Central Indiana Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy. We'll be back with our halftime activities following these messages.
Double your excitement, double your fun, double dollars. It's doubly delightful, double's the one. Get it right for double dollars. Double your fun, $1 million on TV, $50,000 in
biggest investment you've ever made. How will you protect it? Call Allstate before you close for answers and comforting prices. Another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
There's another way for new homeowners to save money. The Allstate New House Discount. It could save you up to 15% on Allstate homeowners insurance. Another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Man, what a day. I could sure use a vacation. Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold bud.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah. Well, we're at halftime at Chrysler Arena, and there you see it. Indiana down by 12. Immediately after that timeout Laz had been talking about, Indiana came back to score the first basket, and then it was a 10-point margin, and now the Hoosiers suddenly have burst back to a 33-31 halftime lead. Thanks largely, I would say right now, to some great play by Chris Lawson.
He's done a great job inside. Indiana finished that second half 17-3 run on Michigan. We'll have the stat, but probably the last 4 or 5 minutes of the half, Michigan not able to score.
One of the things that we had talked about at the start of the program itself was what Indiana was going to have to do, and you said stop Rumeal Robinson from getting penetration. I think, well, let's just ask, what do you think?
That's exactly what Indiana's done. We talked about Caleb moving into the point guard. That moved Robinson outside. He has not made that outside shot, and he's not been able to drive inside. So the both things he can be effective at, he's not been able to do. You saw how great Michigan's rebounding is. They took that early advantage with that big rebounding edge. But Indiana did a better job late in the half, allowing them just one shot. They took their time on offense, and they didn't allow any silly turnovers that led to fast breaks for Michigan. So even in this half, first half of the half, you saw the change. Michigan took the big lead, and then Indiana was able to come back this time in the second half of the first half to take the lead.
All right, you pointed out another thing, too, in the top of the show, and that was to hold down the turnovers, and I think they've been respected.
They've done a nice job. A few of the lob passes have resulted in trouble, but the good thing about those is they haven't resulted in immediate turnovers. The one that did, Coach called a timeout right away when the lead got to 12, and right when that happened, things reversed the other way to Indiana.
All right, so the score here at Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor is 33-31, and we'll be back with more halftime activities following these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
Look at Lumina.
An all-new 1990 midsize Chevrolet at your local Chevy dealers.
Look at Lumina.
Chevy Lumina with more standard power than Taurus.
Look at Lumina.
With more room than Taurus, Dynasty, or Accord.
Look at Lumina.
6 passengers ride in comfort.
Look at Lumina.
With sleek, distinctive styling, priced hundreds less than Taurus GL.
So long, Taurus.
Look at the 1990 Chevy Lumina now at your local Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
When you were a kid, you wanted your bike to sound like a car. Nowadays, you'd like your car to be as quiet as that old bike. So use a gasoline that can do a better job quieting NOx, one that's 2 octane higher than regular unleaded. Unical's 89 octane.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, Murph.
That's the great game last night.
Gee, thanks.
The American farmer takes on a lot of tough jobs every day. He does everything he can to produce a good crop. And he does everything in his power to preserve our delicate environment, such as terracing his fields to control runoff and erosion, so that families like his can continue farming for generations to come. Brought to you on behalf of the American farmer by the makers of Dual Herbicide.
At Hardee's, we never forget. You can always have breakfast someplace else. So right now, get a mouth-watering biscuit and gravy platter for just 99 cents. Smiles are free.
Hardee's introduces pancakes you'll flip over. Our new buttermilk pancakes are so light, so fluffy, they'll stack up real high with your whole family.
University School of Dentistry's rich variety of academic, community, and research programs are designed to promote statewide dental health and to prepare bright young individuals for positions as healthcare professionals throughout Indiana and elsewhere. Research conducted at the dental school and at its Oral Health Research Institute affects virtually every Indiana citizen, and many studies, such as those underway in the school's new bone research laboratory, are moving the IU Dental School into a position of international leadership.
The Indiana University School of Dentistry places an increasing emphasis on community service, both to underserved population groups and to the public at large. Through a series of outreach programs, we are helping community members while also expanding the professional skills and social consciousness of our students and preparing them for a future of professional and civic leadership. Last year, the dental school's programs touched the lives of more than 84,000 people, including over 72,000 Hoosier children in 349 schools who receive fluoride treatments. We are proud to serve our community and the state of Indiana in this manner.
The American Dental Association has long encouraged dentists to inform their patients of the hazards of using tobacco products. For the past decade, the Indiana University School of Dentistry has conducted tobacco-related research and has taken an interest in helping dental patients quit smoking. Students are now incorporating into regular clinical patient visits a comprehensive quit smoking program, which is offered to any patient who expresses a desire to quit. Also, several dental school faculty members routinely serve as volunteer teachers in a number of community-based quit smoking programs. Nationally, Indiana University School of Dentistry recently combined efforts with the ADA and the American Association of Dental Schools to produce the nation's first dental symposium on helping dental patients to quit smoking.
Research in orthodontics at Indiana University contributes to a basic understanding of bone function. Initially, we determined how bone-forming cells are produced in response to orthodontic forces. Our method is being used for NASA and Soviet space flights to determine how bone formation is inhibited in weightlessness. We've also noted that jaw growth is decreased during space flight, perhaps because in weightlessness it's not necessary to use repetitive muscle forces to keep the jaw closed. The latter is thought to promote normal jaw growth. Our research is an example of how space biology helps us understand health problems here on Earth.
The Indiana University Dental School is preparing for the changes in dental care by entering into many partnerships with other disciplines at IU, with other institutions throughout the state, and even with universities overseas. As we head into the 1990s, we also move to the forefront of dental education in this country.
We're back at halftime at Chrysler Arena, 33-31, the Indiana with the lead. We'll be back with a message from the Big Ten and these two fine institutions playing tonight following these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
There is a new dimension for those who love to drive. It is long and sleek, smooth yet precise, designed for comfort, built for the road, shaped by the wind. Proven on the track. Introducing Lumina, the adult sport coupe. When it comes to new dimensions in performance, nobody's winning like. The heartbeat of America, that's today.
Let's get pizza. I can't get pizza. Siesta bowls at 1. Let's go at 4. Can't go at 4. Tulip bowls at 4. How about 7? Finger bowl at 7. 8. Got the lemon at 8. 9. Shrimp bowl. Tomorrow. Rhododendron bowl.
Don't worry. Pizza Hut delivers.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Why? Because when you call Pizza Hut Delivery, you can get a Pepperoni Lovers Pizza for just $8.99, or 2 for a paltry $4 more. And at this particularly low price, who can resist picking?
When I was as young as my grandchildren, life was pretty simple. Who would have thought we'd get a man on the moon and conquer polio, send pictures around the world? Life is changing so fast, they'll need a quality education. A classroom as big as the world. At a really good school like Indiana University. Make the most of it, kids. It all starts here.
The University of Michigan student-athletes exemplify the talent and preparation that identify Michigan alumni as leaders. Michigan's extensive research base and exceptional faculty prepare students from Michigan and from around the world to meet challenges they'll face in the 21st century. In the classroom or on the playing field, Michigan students are committed to achieving the high level of success that comes from all-out effort. That's a Michigan tradition.
All right, we're back at Chrysler Arena. Let's take a look now at the Bud scoreboard. These are the other games tonight. And as you can see, nothing is really decided yet. Illinois, with a good lead over Minnesota, that's still in the first half, 40-32. That game's being played in Champaign. Wisconsin and Michigan State, tough game there. They're tied at halftime. And Iowa, Ohio State, that's still in the first period. Ohio State 47, the Hawkeyes 28. We'll be back with a look at the first half statistics following these messages.
The organizers of a recent national sports event had a slight coordination problem. How to link 34 events in 6 different cities. So GTE designed and maintained a network that not only connected people to information, but made it possible for the competition to begin. You see, at GTE, it's not just communications we offer, it's solutions. Call us. We're ready.
For your farm, your family, your piece of America, AgriCenter means more.
Today's game is brought to you in part by your local Cyanamid AgriCenter dealer, representing America's best agricultural suppliers and committed to helping farmers care for the land.
AgriCenter means more.
We hope all of you enjoy today's game.
You hear a lot about working mothers nowadays. Is there really any other kind? With as many things to do as there are minutes in the day, there's not a more demanding role, nor one more important than raising children and making a home for your family. And while it sometimes seems that you don't hear it often enough, it can't be said enough. Thanks, Mom. Your local Chevy dealers salute mothers. You're the heartbeat of Central Indiana.
You're the heartbeat of America.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by CarQuest Auto Parts, with over 90 locations throughout Indiana to serve you. Okay, let's take a look at the leading scorers in tonight's game for Michigan.
Vaught, Callip, and Robinson all with 7. Very good by Indiana to keep all those players under double digits.
Terry Mills had 6 also for the Wolverines. Leading scorer for Indiana was Chris Lawson. Really played a solid game, and one of the best I think I've seen from him.
12 points. He was 5 out of 6 from the field. Also had 2 rebounds. Eric Anderson has 8, so it's taken the scoring that's been on Anderson's shoulders off a little bit to put Lawson with 12 points. The field goal shooting great for Indiana, 56%. Neither team scoring a lot from the foul line. Indiana catches up a little on the rebounds. They went scoreless for 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Michigan went on an 11-0 run when the score was 17-16, but Michigan did not score in the last 6 minutes and 16 seconds of the first half. Indiana scored 12-0 run in the last 6 minutes.
Indiana gets a good block, and Michigan can't get the shot by Terry Mills to fall down to the line, blocked away. And look at Rumeal Robinson come out of the pack with that ball. Great body control. And the feed back to Griffin to Caleb. And that won't fall. Anderson gets a hand on the ball. Chaney, but he can't get it. Missed. Boy, I'll tell you, Michigan just had golden opportunities. No basket. Oh, there's the slam dunk, and that lights it up by Calbert Chaney.
Great lead pass by Jamal. He left his feet, but he knew he could either go right or left, depending on what the defense did. And so that makes Indiana's run now 14-0, gives them a 4-point lead.
35-31. Robinson from outside. He lights it up for 3.
Rumeal Robinson, 3.
And it's a 1-point game. That's how quickly that 3-point shot will turn it around.
He's their leader, and that's his job. He's got to get this team back in the ball game.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, this little fella, Meach can, well, the minute you think all he's going to do is play the point out there, suddenly he can make the drive. Fought from outside, no good. Cheney with the board for Indiana.
And Michigan really having a tough time. A lot of shots seem to be in and then come right out for the Wolverines today.
Lawson back to the glass for 2 more. Oh!
There's that bounce pass again by Cheney now, a timeout.
Fisher wants to talk it over. Indiana 39-34. Back after this word from Anheuser-Busch.
Budweiser presents What's Your Call? The freezer wasn't just the hero of Bud Bowl 1. He was the biggest thing since 12-packs. But for Bud Bowl 2, Bud Light made a trip to the appliance store, too, picking up some big players of their own. Can you name this trio of trouble? Bud Light signed the washer, the dryer, and the kitchen sink to long-term contracts. If that was your call, this Bud's for you.
Have we got something for you?
Master C on the floor, MasterCard to your door. Take me down my favorite aisle, take me out tonight in style. Get the best, it's not too hard, with your Pacers MasterCard.
Apply for your Pacers MasterCard, a preferred interest rate, and special Pacers promotions just for cardholders.
Yeah, get the best, it's not too hard, with your Pacers MasterCard.
What did I tell you?
I like working on my car. What I don't like is running all over looking for parts.
Don't drive yourself crazy looking for parts for your car or truck. Drive over to your CarQuest Auto Parts store. For dependable engine protection, use quality CarQuest filters. High-efficiency filters that keep your engine running clean and smooth. CarQuest filters, superior by design. You'll find them at CarQuest. If it's something for your car, you needn't go far. You'll find it at CarQuest. Yeah, you'll find it at CarQuest.
Some great years of battle when John Laskowski played here. 73, 74, and 75, IU versus Michigan. 1973, the two teams only played one time. IU won 79-73. In 74, they played 3 times, 2 during the regular season, then won a playoff game, which was played over in Illinois. And Michigan won 2 of those 3. In 75, Indiana won both games as Robinson fires and connects for only 2.
See, that's what he can do. There hasn't been any scoring for Michigan in the last 8 minutes of the game except 2 3-pointers by Robinson, but that does total 6 points and keeps Michigan right in the game.
Offensive foul. You can... No! They called it a block. And Higgins, or Griffin rather, goes down hard. They're going over to take a look at him. This is personal number 3.
Here's Graham on a quick drive. Looks like he slipped there on a wet spot. Let's watch now. Oh, he stepped on Griffin's foot. That's what it was. He sprained his ankle. See how his leg goes back, gets caught back under him. His right leg. He's limping a little bit, but seems to be all right. It'll be out of bounds to Indiana.
All right, it'll be Cheney to toss it in. I said Higgins. Sean Higgins is out, of course. A stress fracture to his left foot, and he'll be gone for about 3 more weeks. Anderson, that's too far. Cheney right back down. Anderson with the fake goes up. And no good. We have a foul. That's going to go against Terry Mills.
Indiana's really doing a nice job offensively. They're moving the ball around. They're getting shots where they want them inside. And almost a chance for a 3-point play there, but Anderson not able to get that to fall. Michigan makes a substitution.
Griffin is out and Chris Cedar back in, number 34, the 6'9 junior. Eric Anderson. His first free throw tonight. Eric with 12 rebounds against Michigan down at IU, and he has 7 already in this game tonight. Second shot is also good. Indiana back to a 5-point lead, 41-36, and we played nearly 2.5 minutes. A foul as the drive by Demetrius Calip catches Indiana behind, and that's going to go on number 20. That will be the first foul on Greg Graham.
See how Graham gets his body twisted. He didn't move his feet over to cut that lane off, and usually the defense will get called for that foul. Out of bounds to Michigan.
And Lyndon Jones back in for Indiana. Out to Robinson, draws Jones off his feet. He'll fire. No good. Whistle underneath. And that's a foul against Michigan. And that, I believe, is Loy Bawden. If it is, that's his second. Now let's wait to see. It is Vaught, number 2 on Vaught, and that's personal foul number 3 on the Wolverines in this half.
Chris Lawson's just created a lot of problems for Michigan today. He's got 14 points, and he's also doing a nice job in there inside. Forced that foul there.
Back out to Anderson. Good stutter step. He'll put it up. Scores!
32, Eric Anderson.
Well, it was a 2-point game, 33-31 at halftime. Caleb down into no man's territory. Vaught backs in on Anderson and scores. Now that's what he can do. He can burn you that way badly.
He made a good play there. The defense forced him away from the basket, but he still made the shot.
Underneath to Lawson. Back to Jones. How about the patience? Is it there?
Right now it is. You saw Jones didn't try to force anything there. Same with Lawson. They just bring it outside, wait for the good shot.
No good. There are 3. White to pull it down. The Mason Blue on the move, trailing by 5, 43-38. Off the glass, it'll go, and the foul. Boy, Terry Mills used about 2/3 of the board that time to bank in his 8th point.
Well, these last 2 shots from Michigan have been well defended. See, he's fallen away that time, but Lawson picks up his 2nd foul. Indiana's done a nice job of keeping the fast break out of Michigan's offense, and they're making him set up in that half-court offense.
And now Terry Mills, the senior from Romulus, Michigan. That's not too far away. Can't get it to fall. Chance for a 3-point play, and Indiana leads by 3, 43-40. We watch the action down low, the pass inside and the outlet, and Anderson does a good job of blocking Vaught away from the lob and the lead.
Anderson made the bad pass, but he really made up for it by not allowing Michigan to make the fast break and capitalize on it. Indiana gets the ball right back.
Has Michigan made any adjustments here, Laz?
Still going man-to-man, and that's Indiana's advantage. Now they've got a small lead. They can take their time on offense.
Rebound off the missed shot by Cheney. Here's Caleb.
Those are good shots for Calbert. 2 in a row now, but not able to hit them.
Tipped up and back in. Give the basket to Mills. Well, they say Caleb. They give it to Caleb. His 9th point.
You can see where that rebounding power of Michigan, just like it did early in the game, has really brought them back. It's not their offense or fast breaking. It's second shots at the basket.
Lawson wanted to make the baseline move on Mills, had no room. Anderson can't take it. The crowd back into the game. 43-42 Indiana. Jones looking. It's his job to lead it. Anderson, oh, he's right on.
Indiana's playing a great game, except for that first 10 minutes of the game. They've really played excellent. They've got themselves in a good position now. And again, forcing the outside shot by Michigan.
Loose ball picked up by Jamal Meeks. He wants to drive, makes the feed. Back out to Anderson for 2. No. And there's Vaught.
That was quick on offense, but it was the shot they wanted. Anderson about a 17-footer.
Now Michigan trailing 45-42. And they seem to be slowing the game down and going into a little discipline of their own. Robinson, this is Cedar. And they let Caleb all alone. And boy, you can't do that. You just make a token brush at him or a flash, and he'll hurt you. That's his 11th point.
He's done a great job offensively. Michigan's got to be able to shoot well from the outside. Indiana's not going to let him come inside to take those inside shots. They've really been getting it on offensive rebounds.
One-point game. Cheney underneath to Lawson. It's not going to go. And Cedar loses it out of bounds. Indiana ball. Substitutions. Riley is back in. Talley is back in for Michigan. And the turnover will give the ball to Indiana under its own basket.
Lawson took a nice shot there, a little hook shot. He missed it. He stayed around, and deflected that ball off Michigan out of bounds. Indiana gets another possession.
Anderson, now Pat Graham in at that whistle. Lawson back to retrieve. And a travel. One of the rare turnovers, and that's what we talked about at the top of the show. Indiana keeps them down. They're going to be in the game.
Indiana only had 4 in the first half. That one by Anderson gives Michigan the ball now.
So that's a total of 6 in the game. Now Caleb, as Michigan has a chance to take the lead. They have not led in the second half. Mills, he'll fall back and fire, gets the roll.
And they're getting a lot of shots to fall now that they had trouble with in the first half. I mean, they're such a strong team. Indiana's played a good game, and yet they're still down by 1 point because of the way Michigan's played.
Jones to Anderson. He'll fire, that's blocked. He'll go to the line, and Riley has picked up his first personal.
Here's the drive. Let's watch Riley come over. Looks like he hit him right there on the arm.
Anderson has 2
shots. Laz, we've talked, you have many times, and both of us at least have mentioned it occasionally about Indiana's motion offense. If all 5 men are moving, it works. If they aren't, what happens? Let's say if one is not.
The middle gets clogged up. And if your man offensively is standing, the defense can go to help out and really cause trouble. We saw early in the game, Indiana had that high offense, and the middle was open. Looks like they've dropped that down a little bit now, and that if the players are standing around, that gives Michigan a chance to double team.
We're tied at 46, just inside the 13-minute mark. Knocked away, but saved by Talley. And the foul. If that is against Calbert Cheney, that's 3. And it is.
See the Indiana bench trying to decide what to do now. Dan Dockage on the right, Larry Rink on the left. Looks like they're going to stay with Calbert right now.
Mike Griffin, the only other player in foul trouble for Michigan. Caleb sits down. Tolbert back in for the Wolverines to Riley on the inbounds. And Robinson, he hadn't handled the ball much.
That's because he's at off-guard position. Caleb or Tolbert are the ones inside.
Well, Talley's got some range. He had a strep throat recently, hasn't seen much action, averaging only 1.3 points per game, but he cans that one, and it's Michigan by 2, 48-46. Cheney gets Riley off his feet. Up goes Anderson for 2, draws the foul too. And that's on Mills, his 3rd.
Here's Anderson going inside. He knows what a good shot blocker Mills is. He just overpowers him right there. And Mills didn't challenge him. Michigan with an interesting lineup now. They've got their 2 seniors, but also 3 freshmen in the lineup. And they quickly solve that by bringing Vaught back in. Riley sets down, but both Tolbert and Talley are freshmen.
Cheney's 4th assist, and it puts Anderson to the line and a chance for the 3-point play. Anderson has hit his average, his Big Ten average. He is 8th in Big Ten in scoring. And off the feet goes Lawson and commits the foul. And that is the 3rd on Chris. So with an excellent first half, 12 points and just 1 field goal, Chris has picked up 2 fouls.
Great shot fake there. It draws Lawson off his feet. He knows right away he's in trouble, but there's not a lot he can do. And Mills playing very smart, forces the foul there, nearly gets it to drop, but he'll have 2 at the line now.
I said Lawson had 2 fouls. It's 2 in this half. He has 3 total. As Terry Mills once again ties this game at 49. Nice soft shot at the line. He has a dozen. We have a substitution again as Riley checks back in. And Mills will take a breather.
So now Michigan goes back with the 3 freshmen. Riley, you see on your screen, the 6'11 freshman, and then the 2 upperclassmen. So both teams with young lineups in there right now.
Trap in the corner. And over it comes. Indiana breaks it. Cheney loses the ball. He started in. Good defense by Riley, and here comes Michigan. Tolbert crashing the boards. Indiana makes the save. Out it comes to Cheney. Well, I'll tell you, Michigan really bangs those boards hard.
Yeah, they take real advantage of their size inside, and they're going to score a lot of points that way.
Low pass. Back to Jones. Nearly stolen. Down to Lawson with the reverse layup. Oh, what a feed from Pat Graham to Chris Lawson.
He really knows when to dish the ball back outside, when to make the move. That's twice he dished out, and the third time he got it, he felt the pressure on his left hip, and so he went to the right, and that's a difficult shot for the big guy. He made it.
Tolbert, and he gets a nice soft roll. There's Tolbert, and he's exuberant. His first basket of the game. Lawson tries to take it inside. That's dangerous. Oh, almost thrown away. Really impressed with the way Indiana's hanging in. That shot by Graham, not too good. The drive by Vaught, and he goes right to the glass for two. We have timeout. 10.5 minutes left. It's Michigan 54, Indiana 51. Back after these messages. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
In central Indiana, Chevy trucks are turning a lot of heads away from Ford because more buyers see what Ford's missing that Chevy has. Like the full-size Chevy's more powerful standard engine, heavier frame, bigger standard payload, and $750 cash back. Chevy S10 with a bigger payload and longer, wider box than Rangers, plus $1,000 cash back. Come in now and get an Indiana or Purdue University tote bag or hat at your local Chevy dealer. In central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
So, how's the weather?
Anything happen in the Gulf today?
Is it a good day for Pisces? Anything good on TV
Did the dollar lose or gain?
What about gold?
What's new on video? What's it about?
Is trading heavy? Read any good books lately?
What's going on in Hollywood?
What time's the movie start? Who's on the country
Who
chart?
won the game? What was the score?
Who fumbled the
Any
ball?
soap Should I bring an umbrella?
What's JR up to?
Any questions?
Touch 4, only in the Ameritech Pages Plus Yellow Pages.
Clear daily or extended wear contacts, $39.98, or 2 pair of tinted lenses in 2 colors, $99.98, and get complete glasses from $39.98 with your contacts purchase.
Party with Who's the Boss for your chance to win Who's Your Lottery tickets. It's the Double Danza Who's Your Millionaire birthday contest. Weeknights at 6 and 7 on TTV4.
Join Errol Flynn for colorful action. Objective Burma, a special color presentation.
Tomorrow night on the TTV4 8 o'clock movie.
It's 54-51 back here at Chrysler Arena. The Wolverines with the lead. What's happened? Anything that Indiana's done differently, Les?
Indiana's just got to keep constant pressure defensively. You can't let down at all. Robinson loves the fast break situations. You see him drive there. It gives the layup, gets the team fired up, gets the crowd fired up. As you see him come over, look at the bench. Look, they're all excited, ready to go. Indiana's got to continue that pressure. They've got to force Michigan to set up that half-court offense. They can't let Robinson run wild. You see they're picking up a little on the rebounding, and Michigan 11-7 edge here in the second half.
This second half has been tied 3 times and 5 lead changes. That shows you how this game has gone. Anderson, and he works it away from the pack. 54-51. Michigan with the lead. And a push and an offensive foul. That's going against Lawson. That's just a little mental breakdown there, Laz.
Chris has been getting the ball inside. He's trying to protect the dribble here, but watch him stick his right arm out. Right there, he pushed off Mills. And that gives him 4. Out of bounds to Michigan.
Still no activity on the Indiana bench. Talley works up against Graham. They go right to work. They're going to try to get that 5th foul on Lawson, but there's the foul on Greg Graham as he goes for the steal.
Michigan offensively keeps getting that ball closer and closer into that 3-second lane, and that you see all 5 players crowded in there. And then if Michigan's able to get that shot away, that really gives them good inside rebounding position even if the shot doesn't go.
Michigan with the ball, and they go all the way back into the backcourt to Talley. Michael Talley, the freshman from Detroit Cooley. Tolbert, and no room to move as Talley fires from the corner, and the rebound to Lawson, gives to Graham.
Excellent block out on Mills by Lawson. Several times now he shoved him 10 feet away from the basket, and that ball's come right to Lawson.
Boy, Graham brought that ball around, and Robinson almost got the steal. Lawson wants to go through. Mills grabs him. No, they say Talley. Both were there. And Talley has picked up his first foul.
Chris Lawson playing with great confidence. Not afraid to take that drive. That was 2 dribbles to the basket. Kept that ball low, protected it, drew the foul.
16 fouls. The line number 54.
Team fouls now are even at 6. Lawson, the freshman from Bloomington South. Most productive game he has had so far, 17 points. His best game before was in non-conference play where he scored 10. Hits both free throws and is improving on his 60% average from the line. 54-53, Michigan. The alley-oop, and it goes. Romeo Robinson. The crowd likes those, and those are backbreakers at times, too. Tipped away. Graham to the glass for 2. Oh, what great mental and physical recovery on that.
Good job there. They nearly lost it, but Graham comes right back with it. Indiana really hanging tough, but Michigan's so potent on offense. Indiana has to work so hard each time down the floor to keep Michigan from scoring, and now the fouls start to add up. That's 16 fouls now.
First personal. That's the 17th foul.
Make that the 17th foul. Indiana now over the limit, so Vaught goes to 1-on-1. 8:48 left in the game.
Vaught, who is the best free throw shooter on this team, 82%, will be shooting 1 on the bonus. Loy had a 66% field goal shooting average last year. He was all Big Ten last year, and he is really an outstanding player. Tremendous pro prospect. Substitution, Chris Cedar is back in. And Cheney's back in for Indiana as Pat Graham sits down. We have 8:48 left, 58-55. Michigan with the lead. And there's the press, but immediately broken by Greg Graham. To the glass for 2. Great move.
Great. The shot. They pass fake that time and still got between the 2 defenders for the nice layup.
Caleb leading from the point as Robinson and Vaught started to play a little 2-man game over here. Now back out to Cedar. And Cedar, as Indiana's playing well off. Cheney doesn't expect him to shoot from out there, so he's playing back in to help. Up over Lawson for 2 off the glass, and I'll tell you, this man has all the shots.
He likes that fadeaway, and he's so tall anyway. That's a nice touch on the bank shot. Really nothing else Lawson can do right there.
Lawson posting up, but Jones can't go to him. Cheney back to Lawson. Anderson tried to set a block on the left side. See what Linden can do with it here. Good feed, 3 on the way. That's not going to go, and it's over the board. Sort of a rifle shot. Tolbert back in for Michigan. And it will be Michigan to bring it up. Buzzer sounds. We have an official timeout. 7.5 left to play. It's Michigan 60-57. Back after these messages.
How we begin determines how we develop, the skills and values we carry into the world, the traits that distinguish us from all others. Beginning right here in Indiana with Indiana People and Values, Arvin has become a worldwide leader in automotive products. Our headquarters are still in Indiana, where we began, because we know what made us successful.
of Indiana is saying hello at the end of the day. Rows of bushel baskets on a roadside stand, a cup of coffee at the corner cafe. There is much a part of Indiana, the Farm Bureau Insurance and you.
How do you get real premium beer taste in a non-alcoholic brew? You start with a real premium beer. That's how Anheuser-Busch makes new O'Doul's. O'Doul's is carefully brewed, fully fermented, and cold-aged, using only the finest ingredients. Then the alcohol is naturally removed, retaining all the great taste of a fine premium beer. So how do you get real premium beer taste in a non-alcoholic brew? Just ask for an ice-cold O'Doul's. O'Doul's, the taste will win you over.
Well, you look at the Indiana bench now, and I know fans wonder what's happening over there. You've sat there many times listening to that, Laz. Is this strategy time, 7.5?
Sure, a lot of adjustments, minor adjustments. They've got to keep that defensive pressure on there. Even if one guy lets down and the other 4 guys are doing it, it'll lead to a basket. And that's the concern of the coaches. All 5 guys out of there have to be doing the job.
There's the buzzer and the ball on the court. It'll be Michigan to bring it up, and against the pressure, Caleb stops, and Graham just sort of slides off his side. No foul.
Three-point shooting, not much of a factor, although both of those by Michigan were by Robinson early in the second half to keep him in the game.
Robinson out in that territory again. Tolbert with the turnaround right to the glass, and a good post pivot by Tony Tolbert for his second field goal.
The defense is letting down right now for Indiana. That ball's getting in there too close to the basket, and Michigan's getting good scoring opportunities.
Jones, who has not scored. Take that back. He has 4 points, but not in this second half. Anderson ready to shoot, but it's not going to go. Outlet quickly. Here they come. They've got a man on the wing. Great defense by Cheney. Back out to Mills. Behind the line. No. Tipped up and in. Give the basket to Loiboy. And Indiana calls timeout. 6.5, remaining 64-57. Back after these messages. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
The door to your future is right in your neighborhood. College credit from Bank One gets you where you want to go. Choose from a variety of student loans that can open doors for you. If you've got what it takes, go for it. Go for college credit at your neighborhood Bank One. It's the loan to learn.
Look at Lumina.
An all-new 1990 midsize Chevrolet at your local Chevy dealers.
Look at Lumina.
Chevy Lumina with more standard power than Taurus.
Look at Lumina.
With more room than Taurus, Dynasty, or Accord.
Look at Lumina.
6 passengers ride in comfort.
Look at Lumina.
With sleek, distinctive styling, priced hundreds less than Taurus GL.
So long, Taurus.
Look at the 1990 Chevy Lumina now at your local Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
At Marsh, our people make the difference, offering friendlier, more efficient service. Fresher fruits and vegetables. Leaner meats, custom cut for more value per pound. Helpful information and a sincere desire to make your shopping as quick and convenient as possible. You value fast, friendly service, and we, all of us at Marsh, value you.
13,609 fans on hand tonight, and they're showing their appreciation for the way the Wolverines have fought their way back into the game. Look at this.
Watch Mills. Anderson doesn't really check him. He just holds his arms out. Mills runs right around him and makes a great tip. Anderson's got to move right back in there to Mills, get that body on him, and keep him away. So you see the rebounding leaders. That was Anderson has 10, Vaught has 9. Mills with a good tip in there.
And I mentioned before, Lyndon Jones did not have any points. He hasn't scored in this half. Indiana's guards have only 6 points, Laz. Do they need to start shooting or what?
They not as long as Indiana continue to go to Lawson and Anderson inside. That's where you want the ball, right where Graham had it.
Robinson after the block shot. The drive and 2. And a foul. And that's going to go against Vaught, but the basket counts.
Here's the shot again. When you take an off-balance shot, you have the chance that it's going to be blocked and then result in a Michigan fast break. Robinson gets it out, and then Vaught follows it up.
Indiana now in the 1-1 as you look at Steve Fisher in his first year. Of course, he led the Wolverines to the NCAA championship last year after Bill Frieder resigned and decided to move on. Overall record for Fisher is 22-4. They lost their first game of the season to Arizona. And now there's the first point by Jones here in the second half. He has 5 and had 20 against Michigan last time. So that's a factor right there, Larry.
Right. If the middle's open, Jones will take advantage of it. If they're going to pressure him outside, then he's got dish inside. That's what he's been doing. But Indiana has not been able to score once they've got the ball inside. The last time Graham had that block, and now Reynolds comes in, and Jones takes a break.
Substitution for Indiana, one of the rare ones here in the second half. Walking it up is Demetrius Caleb, the 6'1 junior from Flint. He has 11 points, 5 over his average. Big Ten averages is what we're giving you here. Outside to Mills, all alone. Lawson has to lay off. He's got 4 fouls. To the glass. Just a great move by Terry Mills.
If Lawson's going to have help, that time Mills drove the baseline, came out the weak side, and got the shot away.
Doubled. No foul. Boy, here he comes. Mills likes to dribble, too. Dishes it off. No foul underneath. Big basket by Tony Tolbert, and Michigan's on a run. 70-59, 11-point lead. And we have 5:19 left to play. To the glass, it's good. Calbert Cheney on a feed from Greg Graham.
Indiana's got to score quickly, just like that. They moved the ball inside, and Cheney was able to get the basket.
70-61. Indiana's not out of it yet, but things are beginning to look more and more in favor of Michigan. They want to even this series and stay in the race for the championship. They're tied for second with Michigan State and Minnesota both in action tonight. Records of 6-3.
You can see Michigan slowing it down a little right now.
Caleb, as Robinson comes out on the release. And just works right past 2 Indiana defenders. Anderson turned away from the play.
Yeah, I think he's a lot more dangerous at the point position when he can handle the ball than he is when Calip's in there. And there you see why.
Up, and the foul, that's going to go against Robinson, his third, and will send Indiana's Chris Lawson to the line as Bob Knight talks to Eric Anderson.
See Tom Rucker with the call. Lawson's just playing a great game today, Chuck. He's got 18 points. Watch him now. Nothing fancy. He does the shot fake. He gets the defense off his feet. He's just going to go up strong, try to get the layup. He doesn't, so now he's got 2 free throws. Best game, obviously, Lawson's played. Good relaxation there at the foul line. That's 3 free throws in a row he's made. Expect him to play a lot more the rest of the season. 7 of 9 from the field today.
And hits again for his 20th point to lead both teams. 64-72. Hoosiers trail by 8 with 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Caleb looking. Caleb will fire. 3 on the way, but it's not going to go. And the rebound to Anderson. 2 are needed here by the Hoosiers. Reynolds to Cheney for 2.
That's Reynolds' job to get the ball up quickly. And now a whistle.
Now let's say Phil Bova has gone over to the scorer's bench. And that's possibly what it is. The scoreboard apparently is malfunctioning. Now we'll wait and see. However, there's been no adjustment up there at all. Cheney now with 8 points. So apparently just an opportunity for Phil Bova to Makes some communication with the bench. Will try to pass it along. Blocking foul and an offensive foul against Caleb. And gives the ball back to Indiana.
Caleb, second personal.
I'd like to know what that was about. And I didn't see anything wrong with the clock. 3:38 remaining, 72-65. Indiana down by 7 and a chance to cut into that lead 2 more.
Reynolds has made 2 quick plays here. He led the fast break that got the last basket. Now the foul gives him a chance to go to the line.
Lawson gets it right back, tries to go up and travels. Anderson was right in the way, and it was just one of these conditions where Lawson went right where Anderson was trying to vacate.
And Indiana had a 2-on-1, which sounds good, but not when they're right next to each other. That's what happened there.
7-point Michigan lead. Well, the Hoosiers missed a golden opportunity to cut it down there, but Reynolds couldn't get it to fall.
Michigan's playing smart now. They're trying to run that 45-second clock down. And then they always like to get the ball to Robinson at the end. I think that's when they can be most dangerous. Although Reynolds, the guy that stopped Robinson in the second half in Bloomington, is right on him. You see him shadowing him there.
And a block, and that's going to go against Michigan. Tolbert, Tolbert tried to keep Reynolds from getting to the ball.
Just great quickness on Reynolds' part. Watch this now. He deflects it. He's got it tapped down, and there's the arm by Tolbert to prevent Reynolds on the fast break, and Indiana's back at the free throw line now.
Well, Reynolds started out like a house of fire at the line in non-conference play, shooting well over 80%, about 88%. It has fallen off to 58% now, and even less than that as we have a timeout with 2:53 remaining, 72-65 Michigan. Back after these messages.
This sporty 2-seater costs over $100,000. This sporty 3-seater costs just $83.20 and comes with a much bigger trunk. For fun and value, nobody's winning like today's Chevy truck. Like most cars, Chevy S10 has fuel injection, 5-speed, and a nice-sized trunk. Plus something few new cars offer, a very low price. When it comes to value, nobody's winning like today's Chevy truck.
Who comes to mind when you think of a strong, innovative bank serving over 5 million customers here and across the country?
Okay, Laz, Indiana down by 7, less than 3 minutes to play. What do you do?
Well, they've got to score quickly. They'd like to score if they can from the free throw line. That's obviously when the clock is stopped. Still a little early to go to full court pressure, so probably won't see that. They've taken a little edge at the free throws, but 13 of 18, not all that great for Indiana, but a chance now for Reynolds to improve on that.
Looking over behind the Indiana bench, Jerry Nelson, former state amateur champion golfer, along with Denny Hepler, the pro at Stonehenge in Warsaw, as Reynolds. That was almost a rifle shot, too, but he got that one to go. So they followed Indiana up here from Hoosierland. Also, former Indiana Athletic Director Bill Orwig is here behind the Indiana bench. Second is not going to go, and Caleb pulls it away. It was on the line. Phil Bova said no. .72-66 whistle. That's a foul against Indiana.
It's one thing Indiana can do is foul. If Michigan's going to take time off the clock, Indiana can foul and send them to the line for the 1-and-1 and see what Michigan can do from there.
Portland Jones back in replacing Reynolds.
So the foul is against Reynolds for Indiana. And he sits down as Caleb goes to the line for 1 on the bonus. Good free throw shooting team, this Wolverine.
One shot.
Their average is 74%. That's right at 75, 3 for 4, and as a team, that's not bad. Oh, boy. Cheney just couldn't get the handle on that one. Michigan in the driver's seat, 73-66, a 7-point lead. Hoosier's going to have to come out after him now, Les.
Right, you've got to try. There's a steal.
And stolen right back. Comes Tolbert. Takes it right to the glass. Tony Tolbert. 75-66. Anderson wants to move. Up to the glass. No foul. Blocked away. Out comes Tolbert. 2-on-1. Robinson with the stop. Indiana calls timeout. 1:45 remaining. 77-66. We'll be back after these messages.
It's a hurry-up-and-wait world, and we hate to wait. Yet the latest trend in restaurants seems to be the line.
Oh, I'm gonna take it.
There are so many things that mess up the day. It seems like more restaurants would remember the rest part.
Yes, I'm gonna take it.
If you're fed up with long lines at the fast fooders or weary of bumper tag at the food bars or just won't stand for steak anymore,
Take it sitting down at Waffle House. No matter where you're farming, no matter what you grow, all across America, we're the people you need to know.
Most Cyanamid Agri-Center dealers offer custom application service, and that can save you time and money. Using only the finest products and equipment, you know the job will be done right.
Agri-Center means more.
Ask about custom application at your Agri-Center dealer.
Wolverine fans with a lot to cheer about now. 77-68, 1:45 remaining, an 11-point lead. What's happened?
Well, Michigan's just taking control of the game. They're running the tempo of the ball game. It's a fast-paced game, and that's the type of game that favors Michigan.
Todd Leary in at this break for Indiana. 3-point shooter. Indiana will be looking as Pat Graham is in. Leary will fire 3-point range. Not going to go. Tipped up. Cheney goes back up again, gets the basket. He's fouled. He'll go to the line.
No, Indiana's gone with their offensive lineup with Leary and Graham in there. Pat Graham for 3-point shooting. Leary missed the shot, but Cheney got the rebound, and he'll have a chance for 3 points. And now they come with their defensive lineup as Chris Reynolds comes in for Leary. Greg Graham looked like he was coming in, but Pat Graham stays in the lineup.
That's the third foul on Kayla. And a 3-point play as Cheney hits the free throw.
And now the full court press by Indiana.
On the 5-second call, it's Indiana ball. Bob Knight talking to Phil Bova for a moment. What might that have been about?
Well, I'm not sure what that was, but that pass was not near anybody. Look at the rebound, so the 5-second call would have been made. Michigan never touched it.
That's the 10th turnover for Michigan. Drops it off to Anderson, wheels back up, and gets the fall of the ball.
Now the press again.
There it is. They're having trouble getting it in. Now they break it to Caleb. Gets past Graham. And up into the forecourt with 1:14 remaining. 77-71. It's only a 6-point margin. A couple of 3-pointers could get Indiana back into it if Michigan can't score. A little weave across the top now. Caleb.
Indiana needs a trap situation to force that turnover.
Boy, Lawson's done a great job playing with with 4 fouls.
For a long time and stayed in it. Right there's the trap, and Cheney nearly stole it. Deflected it away. Caleb got it.
45 seconds remaining. Loose ball. We have a foul. They're going to call a trip on Indiana. And that's on Cheney, I believe. Personal foul number 4. Let's wait and see. It is his 4th.
Fourth
Leary back in, Reynolds down.
Todd Leary in for Hoosier.
Well, Bob Knight looking for his 427th win at IU and his 232nd in Big Ten play, but he's 6 points away from it and maybe more as Caleb puts up the 1-1. Misses! And Lawson gets the ball. Break for Indiana. What can they do with it?
Need to go quickly now and try to get that 3-point shot or move it inside for a quick shot and maybe the foul.
He'll fire. Oh, it's down in the well and out. Vaught pulls it away. Foul on Lawson, and he has just fouled out. Or do they call it on Anderson? Anderson they call it on. Okay, so that's only the second on Anderson. And Vaught goes to the line. 27 seconds remaining. Believe me, just only a handful of fans have left Chrysler Arena. Loy Vaught. And he gets it. 7 points. A lot to make up in 27 and 2/10 seconds.
The strong rebounding and the better second half by Rumeal Robinson to really get this fast break going has propelled Michigan into the lead.
Michigan had vacated the lane, let Indiana have the board. Should it have been missed? Off to Leary. He fires. No, it's not going to go. Indiana has not scored from three-point range tonight. Tolbert backs it out, and Michigan is going to win this game with 10 seconds remaining. You see the clock in tenths of seconds ticking down. 3, 2. Caleb fires. It will not go. And that's the end of the game. Final score, Michigan 79, Indiana 71. Back after these messages. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when. By your Central Indiana Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy. And by Bank One. We're 18,000 people who care. '79-71 final score. It was 33-31 at halftime as Indiana really worked its way back from a 12-point deficit in the first half to take the lead. And then after taking a 5-point lead in the second half, saw Michigan put on the rally, turn right around, get back into the